artificial intelligence has the potential to produce some truly mind-boggling stuff. So grab some popcorn and join me as we explore the 7 craziest facts about AI I bet you did not know.
I'm Lily, and this is Panorama AI. Number 1. Even the creators of large language models are unsure about how the hell they work. Typically, scientists creating these new technologies are also the scientists who can explain how their technologies work, not with LLMs. Quite frankly, nobody knows how they work. For example, ChatGPT is trained through a process similar to autocomplete. Engineers feed it with tons of data and train it to guess the next word in a sentence based on probability. Then they refine it over months and extensive computational resources. But even these engineers have no clear understanding of what goes on inside the system. How can a software that just guesses the next word come up with the correct answer? It's like a mystery box of millions of flipping numbers, and nobody knows how LLMs end up at the conclusions they spit out to us. So let's hope for the best. 2. ChatGPT can write amazing funeral speeches. You may already be aware of ChatGPT's wide range of talents. Aww, you are so charming. Next to its usual task, it also has the sensitivity to craft beautiful funeral speeches. This talent has been tested by a friend of mine who happens to be the chairman of his local tennis club. He was asked to represent a group at the funeral of a member who had recently passed away. But since the chairman didn't know the deceased well, ChatGPT kindly took on the job of writing the funeral speech for him. And after my friend has delivered the speech, all the attendants were deeply moved by the words of ChatGPT. If that was due to the good prompt or because every death just evokes the same emotions, I don't know. But what I know is that AI can also generate very good presentations already, like our sponsor for today, Gamma. In our big comparison on aitoolssme.com, it was able to generate a whole presentation from one single topic I gave it. Where other tools were buggy or completely got stuck, Gamma was the only one to crack the AI code and work absolutely flawlessly. This is the presentation it generated. Pretty fucking impressive and such a time saver. It just assembled all the copy, pictures, designs, literally everything by itself. And all I gave was the topic of AI tools for small and medium enterprises. So try Gamma now and get 400 AI credits if you use the link in our description. Alright, let's get back to our mind-blowing facts about AI. Number 3. AI can be lost in translation. If you ask a large language model about the numerical order of pi, then the result will differ or even be slightly wrong based on the language you asked it in. If you inquire, for example, in English, German, or Norwegian, don't be surprised if the LLM gives you different answers. This is because LLMs get a lot of their information from the internet, which is like their database. So if pi is written out to 10 decimal places after the comma in Norwegian publications, ChatGPT will just calculate the remaining 40 decimals to provide an answer. More common languages have more data available, and therefore we get more precise answers. Another fun fact, ChatGPT provides 100 decimals in German but only 50 in English.
Perhaps our clever friend has learned that precision is highly valued by Germans.
Now, don't laugh, but I had to make sure because in German it's P. 4. AI hallucinates.
Without drugs.
Imagine AI as that one nerd in class that always raises its hand. But if it doesn't have the answer, it might just come up with something that sounds very plausible. And in all fairness, LLMs often admit if they don't have an answer. But not always. In one famous example, ChatGPT has completely fabricated a whole court case in a lawsuit against an airline,
which I talked to in this video much more in detail.
The tricky part is that It's really hard to tell hallucinations from the truth. So if something sounds fishy, you should check a second source. 5. You can shame LLMs into giving away secrets even if it doesn't want to. Not long ago, well, remember ChatGPT has only been around since November 22, clever techies were able to shame ChatGPT into spilling its system prompts. These prompts act as internal filters or instruction manuals and directly influence every answer. Typically, they are hidden from our view. So this particular user pretended to distrust ChatGPT, and at about 10 queries into his investigation, just asking the same thing again and again, the LLM gave the system prompts away. It sounds so human and cute that the LLM just couldn't handle not being taken seriously. I assume that this loophole has been closed by now, but still funny to see that my new best friend shows human-like emotions. 6. If LLMs are trained on their own data, they become dumber. Do you remember the game Telephone? Well, that's kind of what LLMs play when they build up on incorrect information. If the first answer includes a hallucination, every answer it builds up on will therefore also be false. Or let's say it will be an alternative truth. The more often this process repeats, the more pronounced the outcome becomes. AI-generated news sites, reviews, and content farms can contribute to spreading misinformation. And as they are copied, they serve as data sources for the next generation of LLMs. This creates a cycle where misinformation begets more misinformation.
The question is, how will we be able to tell right from wrong later?
7. ChatGPT 3.5 is free, but extremely expensive. But to be more precise, it's expensive to run for OpenAI because it requires a lot of computing power. LLMs are trained on massive amounts of data, and they need to process information very quickly to generate a response. This requires so much energy and hardware, which of course is mega expensive. In an article by Business Insider, it was estimated that ChatGPT costs OpenAI approximately $700K daily. Does this mean the company will go bankrupt soon? Luckily, no. OpenAI licenses its technology to companies developing their own chatbots, virtual assistants, and other AI-powered applications. As technology improves, more efficient algorithms and hardware advancements could reduce the cost of running LLMs. And we can assume that more and more companies will integrate large language models into their processes. So don't worry about chat's future. It's here to stay. Thank God Almighty!
Alright, these were our 7 mind-blowing facts about AI, and I would love to know what your favorite crazy part about AI is.